Despite the biting autumn cold, I felt comfortable and calm. Her light heels clicked on the wet asphalt, on which the trampled autumn leaves were dirty yellow. The black mirrors of the puddles reflected the painful light of the curly lanterns, highlighting the thin, wet black branches of maples and lime trees overhanging the narrow park path. Peace and quiet. I tried to maintain a flirtatious lightness of gait, trying not to notice the sticky, damp cold enveloping my bare legs, barely covered by a miniskirt, rather emphasizing my seductiveness and sexuality. There was no bra under the thin t-shirt, and her nipples, hardened from the cold, stuck out from under the translucent fabric. I was walking to the most remote part of the park. I knew what I was doing. The cold gripped me in its tenacious embrace, but the other feeling, born from the depths of my gut, was much stronger. And this feeling came with a new and renewed force, over and over again. It was becoming increasingly difficult to restrain him. There were 3 of them. A tipsy company, far from being a declassified element. I pretended to be scared. Nervously, playfully, in fact, she straightened her reddish-golden curls and tried to give a magnetic seductiveness to innocence, which reeked of vice, to her eyes, which were carefully circled with makeup. Something stirred inside me, sliding between my insides, stretching impatiently and opening its insatiable mouth. I pretended to try to escape. But, as expected, I was captured. I won't pass on what they said. Strong, good-looking guys. It's even a pity that they waste their strength and youth on such a thing. But it's their choice. There is a beast in each of us. And only a person decides whether he will break free or not. My beast broke free when I was already lying on the damp, tart-smelling ground, pinned down against the wet leaves, with a torn t-shirt, a pulled-up skirt and torn-off tight panties, which I also chose. No, not for them, but for my beast to feel the special sweetness of satisfying hunger, provoked by the wild lust of rapists. I let him pull away at the very moment when the first of them had already pulled down his pants, showing tense dignity, and settled over me. He was the first to die, with his body ripped out and his belly ripped open from pubis to sternum. Warm, steaming, smelly insides spilled out onto my lower abdomen, and blood was liberally drenched in my thighs. The others didn't even have time to scream when the beast tore apart the first prey and rushed towards them. He effortlessly tore off the head of the second one, wrapping his elegant clawed fingers around it. The third one tried to run away, speechless with terror. But my beast caught up with him in 3 jumps and tore out his spine. I stood up, naked, covered in blood. The blood warmed me. I wasn't cold. The beast came up to me, claws clicking on the wet asphalt. He bowed his graceful, elongated head, crowned with deer horns. I put my hand on his warm, moist, smooth skin. She petted me. I found out that I had it when I was about 12 years old. I remember that horror and hopelessness, The dim light of a swinging lamp, the creak of an old springy bed and a cold mattress uncomfortably touching my naked body. I remember a burning scream stuck in my throat. The weight is on me. The stench of alcohol. A hoarse rhythmic snuffle. The unbearable pain of trampled innocence. And one more thing. Something fiery, deep, indomitable, and primevally wild. Awakened by my pain, horror, and hatred, bordering on wild delight and delight. Then he appeared, the beast, and he tore up my tormentor, and all those who were with him. Then the beast took me in his arms, just like now, bloody and trembling. He began to gently cradle her, humming a lullaby. And since then, he has never left my side. Only once did I regret having it. Then, when he broke loose and satisfied the hunger of those who did not deserve it, the ones I truly loved. I hated the beast then. I was screaming. She cursed him. I hugged the bloody head of someone who was kind to me, loved me, sincerely and purely, and whose gaze, now, has glazed over forever. Back then, I didn't want anything more than to be torn apart with him. Die. Or, maybe, to drag down the whole world, which lived its life, knew nothing and did not want to know about my unbearable pain. But that also passed over time. I realized that I am who I am. And besides the beast, I have no one else. And it can't be. So, maybe we should take advantage of this. I picked up my torn clothes and took off my already unnecessary sandals. The wet asphalt was pleasantly cool on my hot feet. Someone else's blood was cooling on me. I'll need a good wash. And, yes, buy a new set of erotic lingerie and matching outfit. But that's later. So far, my beast is full. But he'll get hungry very soon. I stared into the dank darkness, torn apart by the dim light. She walked lightly through the dead leaves. My beast was walking nearby, tapping its claws.